Well, hello, everyone. Happy Thursday night. I'm
Hello,
to you,
everyone. Thank you for joining us.
to you now. And we have the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Dr. Michael Gross here with us.
Thank you for the kind words. Welcome.
You're welcome, Michael. You know, I've known Michael for 5 years now. And, we don't know who we're going to meet, who we know that, how does she do that? You don't know, who they know who end up meeting as well. It's a strange, strange thing. And I probably butchered up that quote. But I am so blessed that Dr. Michael Gross came into my life because I was actually missing something that I've been searching for my whole life. And it took me a phone call with Michael. We sat very briefly. We had a little bit of lunch. I wanted to buy his book. I'd heard about his book and I got in touch with him and we met for lunch so that I could get his book. And in that moment, it was like I knew that this was going to be a friendship for a long, long time. Had no idea exactly where it would pan out, but oh my goodness, the things he's done. And I asked a question. Can I go ahead and put this on the and mention it right here? All right. I'm clutching his book that he had just so graciously signed for me. I'm clutching his book, and I said, "Okay, Dr. Michael Gross, tell me what's the difference between religion and spirituality? I've been in, I've been going to church since I was a little girl." And Michael, would you like to tell them what the answer was?
You go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Well, Michael tells me, as I'm holding on to this book, okay, he tells me religion sets a moral code. And I thought, certainly does. It's the Ten Commandments, right? I'm going to do this. It was just like this, okay? This is his book. I was holding it like this. And he turned around and he goes, spirituality is your life experiences. And in that moment, clutching his book, I no longer saw this beautiful man across the table from me. I saw this white light and all the videos in my head. It was like a movie going through of all the things that have happened in life, in my life, the science can't explain. And I'll tell you that some other time, but everything in that moment exploded inside me. And I don't know if he was talking or not. I couldn't even see him anymore, okay? But the beautiful thing that happened after was that everything that I had been seeking my whole entire life, I stopped searching that moment. It was like the weight of the world lifted off my shoulders, and I knew I had found the one thing I'd been looking for. So if you have a spot in your heart and soul where you feel like there's something missing in your life, you definitely need to call Dr. Michael Gross and let him have an opportunity to wake up your soul like he did mine. And on that note, I will go into a little bit about Michael's history. He's been working for over 30 years as a spiritual teacher, a multidimensional coach, a transformational coach. He's exceptionally skilled in all aspects of soul, oversoul, vibrations, frequency, body, timing, life force energies, and so much more. He's the author, like I said, of the book, The Spiritual Primer. Okay. And in this book, he shares with you I call it golden nuggets to stimulate your thinking and start putting a new perspective on your own life. The spiritual primer, my apologies, is applying God's 12 transformational laws to reawaken your soul by reconnecting to God, the true source, to experience your true source's love, joy, and happiness. It's amazing how many nuggets are in this book, and we won't know that unless you open it for yourself. But he helps you find your unlimited life. Holds many, many degrees. He's way more than I have written down on my notes because I have to, cheat a little bit now. But he's a transformational coach, a multidimensional healer, a spiritual teacher. He's my mentor. He's also holds many degrees, like I said, a doctorate in alternative healing psychology. He's a Reiki master. He's a teacher, a thought field therapist, certified professional hypnotherapist, a non-denominational national. Okay, I'm having a problem here, Michael.
Non denominational minister.
My goodness, my tongue is not working right this moment. He offers workshops in reconnecting to God, the true source, cellular release, manifestation protocols, energy and multidimensional healing, and so much more. And he has also, for over, I don't know how many years you've done this, Michael, but he's been an international intuitive consultant for corporations, and he's traveled over half the world. His clients are in USA, Australia, New Zealand, South America, Asia, and other countries. And I'm thrilled to report that he's also now being heard in the Baltic countries, Sweden, and South Korea. His list of accolades goes on and on and on. And you truly are being blessed right now to have Michael here giving his time to share his words of wisdom on this topic of choosing your direction in life. So I'm going to go ahead and mute Michael. I'll put all your contact information in the comments. But
Thank
take it
you.
away, Michael. You are truly, truly a gift to the universe.
Thank you for joining me. And really, it's an honor to be with all of you. And I want to give you all accolades for spending the time to listen to what I have to share, because it's all about empowering you and finding love and joy and happiness in your life and finding the directions in your life. Most souls don't understand that everything starts at a frequency and energy that we would call vibrational energy of healing, of creativity, manifestation, is all part of spirituality. And understanding is part of spirituality. When I came out here, didn't know what I was going to do. I think I came out in the Pacific Northwest in 1989 or late 89, early 90. Didn't know what I was going to do, what was going to happen, and just being in the flow of life. And stayed with a friend. Actually, I didn't even know where we were going to stay. So I kind of knew two people. They stay here. And then one of my good friends moved out to Centralia or Chehalis, they're right next door to each other. Hey, would you like to stay with me? And I said, sure. So I did. And I had my Kita with me. He accompanied me wherever I go. And all of a sudden, another person moved out, and I found myself teaching college. So I taught at City University in Bellevue, Washington, economics, marketing, and business communications. And I taught at another junior college, remedial English and psych. And I went, I got to learn about English, all the type of dangling metaphors and dangling participles and explanation points and all that stuff. I go, oh, heck, I never really learned it very well. And I was taking English syntax. So I had to learn to do that. And I was teaching remedial English and psych and did all those things. So what I'm trying to share with all of you is I had a wonderful tenure as a college professor teaching, and you're probably wondering, well, what were my qualifications? And my qualifications, the reason the first college picked me up, City University, was based on my business experience, things I had accomplished, and different things I have done. And it was all on a business level. And owned several businesses and helped other people and worked with lawyers buying and selling businesses, all this stuff. And I started off with 20 students, and pretty soon by the second semester, the word went out and had 60, 70 students. Everybody wanted to take my 3 courses, and it just grew. And the reason it grew is because I was being guided by what I call the true source, or you would call God the true source, to bring it to a level we could understand, rather than being a book knowledge professor and all this stuff. Well, later on, they asked me if I would teach students in Japan and so on in Seattle area, actually Bellevue, online and all that stuff, and they wanted me to get a doctorate. Well, as you know, getting a PhD, which I called Piled Higher and Deeper, it was publish or perish, so you had to write books. And I was losing some of my interest in doing that. I didn't feel like writing books. Little did I know I'm going to be an author, which I've become. That's another story. The reason I'm bringing out all these things is not to sing my accolades, but the reason I'm doing this is saying that being in the flow of life, opportunities open up. And as opportunity open up, we have to be open. No expectations, no attachments. And where the truth said me, Michael, if you don't know where you're going, you can't get lost. And I embellished that. I became that. So why did I bother to do that? Why would I suggest that for all of you? And the reason is that each one of us have a mission and goal. And the mission and goal is family, friends, relatives, and so on. Also, we have a spiritual mission and goal, which is very important and involves helping this planet get out of chaos and bringing about love and joy and happiness and setting up as the proverbial Garden of Eden. And I wanted to address a little bit more about this because it's so important for us to remember that if you say my way or the highway, your insistence creates resistance. And that's not a quote from the true source, but it was somebody else, which I can't remember his name. But my way or the highway really means that if you are saying it can only be done in this way, and that's all there is, you know what happens? You close the doors to opportunities. And in closing your doors to opportunities, you never know which way it's going to go. But here's the beautiful part. If you don't say my way or the highway and insist it only has to be that way, look at all the life experiences you will have. Therefore, I came out here and my undergraduates, bachelor's and master's degrees are in gerontology, which is the study of the elderly, because I was in the nursing home business. And I thought that would be great. And somebody said, hey, you got to meet this Dr. Michael Gross. He's an expert on the elderly. And at that time, the telephone company, US West, wanted to have caller ID. So they asked me to come down to speak before the legislators. I said, well, good. I'm looking for a job. This is before I started teaching college. Okay, I'm going to do this. So I'll get a job. Well, I spoke before the legislators of the state of Washington. I can't tell you how many people came up and shook my hand and said, thank you. We learned a lot. And I thought, okay, well, US West. And they go, oh, Michael, you're overqualified. We'll take you to lunch, but you're overqualified to work for us. I went, all the wind went out of my sails. But as time went by, and the beautiful thing about life is teaching college, I ended up teaching classes in spirituality. And I was only going to teach for 3 months. And my students had dreams I would teach for 3 years. And I taught for 3 years. And I said, that's it, we're done. I don't want to be a guru, just give you power and knowledge. And people came back, they wanted to learn more, and everything progressed. The most important thing that I'm trying to convey to all of you is to be open to the unlimited opportunities. And that's where the true source says, this is a motto you should live by. You are unlimited. And when you think about being unlimited, that means you can achieve anything you so desire. So how come some souls can do all these amazing things and others are limited? Well, there are a couple of reasons why they're limited. First of all, my way or the highway, that's one. Number two, maybe that's not your mission and goal. Maybe there's something very important. So what I do is awaken your soul. But is it any more important that someone saying, hey, you're depressed, I'm going to take you out for dinner? Equal. Each one is equal. Whether waking up your soul to help you reconnect with the true source or someone help you through something that's challenging in your life, they're equal. There's no difference. Because what are they doing? I am in service to help everybody awaken. When you help somebody who is depressed, you're in service to them. The unfortunate part, many souls don't recognize the beautiful things we do for one another. They don't appreciate it. And then actually whiffy, I guess it is. What's in it for me? WIFM, with them. What's in it for me? Wrong attitude. What we have to understand is everything that occurs in our life is positive. It adds to growth. It adds to knowledge. For me, I was teaching these classes. One of my students been with me 30 years. 30 years. She deserves a medal. And we've only repeated 2 or 3 classes. And I said, I think I'm going to start teaching the mystery schools. And she said, Michael, we all knew it. Didn't you? I said, no, I just suddenly understood. 30 years later, 2 weeks ago, I suddenly realized that. But that's what I wanted to point out. Doing your mission and goals. What is your mission and goals? Well, major one, bring love and joy and happiness and peace on this planet. Just as important is to realize that your epitaph is to help heal your family, to create positivity and love and joy. You are being asked by your soul to make a major change in these days. You're asked to look at every challenge as growth, and it's exciting. And I did another podcast before, say, make a game out of it, be joyous and excited, see the positivity of it. As the true source said, sheep follow, leaders lead. And are you a follower or are you a leader? Being a leader means sticking your neck out and taking chances. But you know what? If you listen to your soul, not your ego, listen. I feel I need to do this. I feel I should do this. I feel I need to say this. You will always be carrying beautiful roses of joy and happiness. But when you let your ego in, I'm going to feel good. I'm going to feel important. I want to be just as good as them. Each one of us are unique. Each one of us are special. Each one of us has wonderful gifts. You look at the story of so many people. Warren Buffett, when he started investment, he lost money for his people for a long time. He finally got it right. And there are others that had beliefs and things they wanted to do. Thomas Alva Edison, the electric light bulb, took him 1,013 times, someone said, whatever it is, but he never gave up. And Dr. Royal Rife, who had the Rife machine, he found out electrical vibration and energy will cure any kind of illnesses. And just a brief story, he took at Mount Sinai Hospital in the late 40s, early 50s, 10 cancerous patients that were due to die. I don't remember, it was 8 or 9 lived through his machine. And he repeated it. Something weird happened. He was run over by a car and died. And his assistant got all his equipment. And I don't know how many months later, guess what? His assistant was run over and killed by a car and everything was missing. But here, all that was hidden, all his information, and now it's beginning to come forth. That's what we need to understand. That's what you're here for, to explore the possibilities of life and make changes, and to listen to the thoughts of your soul. Your ego justifies everything, but the thoughts of your soul go, do this or that, just do it. And that's it. Well, I don't know if it's going to work out. It's unimportant. Just do it, because it will change people and it will change everything in your life. You see, what I wanted to share with you is everything that happens in your life is a challenge to overcome your belief system. That's it, just your belief system. What is your belief system? Self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. Are you really worthy? Of course you're worthy. Why would you not be here if you weren't worthy? I do not care whether you live homeless in your past or whether you're a wealthy family or whatever. You are here for a purpose. And when you discover your purpose, when you're open to the opportunities, the unlimitedness, then what happens is you will make a difference in life. Now, whether you change billions of people's lives or just one person's life, on a scale of measurement, they're both on a scale of 1 to 10, they're both 10s. Because you see, changing a billion, yeah, Pretty powerful. Changing one person's life, and they understand one becomes two, two becomes four, four becomes eight, 8 becomes 16, and on and on and on. The multiplier. So you have made a difference. That's what you're here for, to make a difference. You need to be secure within yourself, because here's what happens. Here's something we need to understand. When you are making a difference and you come under judgment and criticism, think about, why are they doing this? It's because of one or two reasons. One, they're feeling unworthy and they wish they were like you. So they're going to try to make you feel inferior. Or number two, they know that you're right and they're feeling guilty, but they don't want to admit it. Why do people watch soap operas so much in the past? And there's still new names for them. Why? Oh, because they think my life is yucky, but their life is worse than mine, so I feel good. That's what we call a soap opera. But you are making a difference in life at a micro level, and that's what being called down in the ditches, one by one by one. There are very many famous people that are well known. I'm not going to mention their names. And I was talking to someone. They have millions of followers. And I said, well, how was it? Oh, it's really great. But you know what they said 3 weeks later? I don't remember what they said. I just felt great then, but I'm back behind the 8 ball now. So when you're with a person in the trenches and you're there once a month, once a week, once a day, you are making the difference. And by their actions and behaviors, they're making a difference with everybody in their life. Don't discount what you do. Don't feel inferior. Don't worry you have to be center stage. Sure, we all like to be center stage. But more importantly, how do you change every person? One person at a time. I don't care if you're talking to a million. It's still one person at a time. One by one by one, and it grows. Like the 100th monkey syndrome. So what I want all of you to know, and I'm looking at the time and we still have some time, what I want all of you to know is that you are important. You are priceless. You are worthy. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what your background is. You may have been a druggie. You may have been an alcoholic. You may have done some unsavory things. The point is, what are you doing now? How are you making a difference? And how are you empowering your life? And then by your actions, are you not a role model for others to look at and say, what's your secret? And you just share a little bit of it for them to take small teaspoonsful before you give them shovelfuls. Gio, I know you want to say something.
I do. Michael, I love what you're saying, and you are so, so spot on. It's so easy to fall victim to the words of others. That's happened to me for a long time. The opinions of others really, like you've taught me, the opinions of others don't matter as much as what you listen to in your soul. So my question is, how can we protect ourselves? How can we, be respectful? Because if somebody says something negative to you, right away it's like, you get defensive. That what would be the right way to be loving and move forward and not let that consume you?
Well, of course, we call about the fight or flight or frozen syndrome. And someone says negative, and you wish you had a baseball bat and go bang, bang, bang. But we know there would be a lot of outcome that would not be very good for us in our life. But I'd like everybody to understand when they say something negative, think about that. They're either saying something negative about themselves. You see, when somebody says negative things about you, they feel negative about that subject. Like you think you know everything. And they themselves don't think they know anything. So they're expressing their fear upon you. That's what they're doing. So whenever they judge you, they are judging themselves. whenever they are complimenting you, they're complimenting themselves. But there's a false kind of compliment. They may be just wearing a mask to make themselves feel good or to get in good favor, get in your good graces. You will know. Just ask yourself, is this true inner source guidance person real? Or are they wearing a mask? A mask is they're hiding things. But you never want to embarrass anybody. So what you do is say thank you. So they criticize you and judge you. Remember, they're criticizing and judging themselves. And so kindly say, thank you for bringing it to my attention. I appreciate it. That's all. Because, as True Source said, you can't argue with stupid. Okay? They don't want to hear that. You know, and I used to know the numbers, somewhere more than 60 or 70% of the time, maybe a little higher, people only getting 20, 30% of what you say because they're thinking of an answer. So not understanding the full. Now my percentages might be off a little bit. I apologize. Whatever it is, express yourself, have compassion. Don't be a doormat. Just say thank you. And when they try to bait you and say, you said it all, thank you so much. And that's it. Or I appreciate your words. Thank you for pointing it out. And then change the subject or excuse yourself because you're not going to win an argument because they are so steadfast in proving that you're wrong no matter what you say. Ain't going to go nowhere. And at the same time, it's your ego trying to prove it. You know in here what you're doing is right or wrong. You know that. That's all you need to know. Follow your soul, follow your dreams, follow your thoughts. And remember, life is about you, nobody else. And your success will be a role model for others to look at you and find that success. And that gets you out of the proverbial doldrums into the trenches to help everyone. But be careful of your ego because it's so interesting. I watch people say, I'll talk to myself about myself. I was talking to 700 people. And then 10 people were making fun of me. And I stopped and let those 10 people interfere with the joy and happiness. The 500, 600 people, they had tears in their eyes of joy and release. But I let those 10 who were making fun of me control me. And I went, wow, why am I doing this? We have 500, 600 people that are crying in joy. Why am I letting 10? That's it. They want to be like me. They wish them in life they were like me. So they want to put me down and lower me to their vibration. And that's when I said, no, I'm doing right. And I asked for love and peace and joy for them and said a little minor prayer because I realized they're so hurt, so lost, they can't see the forest for the trees. So I realize we're running out of little time, but I want to share one thing with all of you, that you are special, that you were created out of love, by love, from love, and with love, and that your direction in life is for you to fulfill your mission and goals. And many people, I don't know what my mission and goal is. Take a look at your life, what you learned, and how you empowered yourself. That's part of your mission and goal. And if you don't know where you're going, you can't get lost. So just know, as you recognize that as your mission and goal, your guides and angel soul goes, well, you got it, Michael. So we're going to give you more beautiful things to accomplish. Because remember, you are unlimited. So I want to thank you for listening to me. Thank you for letting me share this. It's all about empowering you. And as I said once before, are you a slave of your fears or master of your life? And I would like to see all of you as master of your life.
Wow.
The other point I'd like to share with
Thank
you, you're
Thank
welcome. The other thing I'd like to share with you is that on Tuesday evenings, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, I do Words of Wisdom. And what's that all about? You ask any question you so desire, and hopefully I can answer them. And then I deliver a 10-minute message. Now, you may be aware of many things that I may answer the questions that are there, but you may have forgotten them. But more importantly, when you come, there's a synergy of energy, and we're making a difference in each other's lives. That is so powerful. And then I deliver a 10-minute message. So on Tuesday evening, 6:30 p.m., 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, it's done on freeconferencecall.com. So as I say, you can be in your pajamas, your work clothes, having dinner. I have no idea. You can just join in and participate. And then I leave a 10-minute message. So Tia, would you give them that information, how they can join us on Tuesday evenings?
Absolutely. That's 6:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And all that will also be in the comment section. So you can make sure you get it. But here's the number. It's 202-926-1059. And the access code, Michael?
125-446-pound. One more time, please.
202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
125-446-pound. Using the same telephone number, the same code, the second Saturday of every month, do what is called the Mass Consciousness Healing. Starts at 9:55 a.m. and we start around 11:03 to 11:05. The reason to do that, I wait for people to come on, and when you come in, ask where you're from. We chat for a few minutes. We get to know the others, and then approximately at 11:05, we go into silence. And at 11:01, it ends. So 10:05 to 11:01, then it ends, and then I usually play a little music and thank all of you. But more importantly, you're going to bring through the true source of unconditional love throughout your body, and then you become the conduit to spread it all over the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom. Can't describe it. You have to feel it, and it's pretty wonderful. And really, true source of unconditional love is empowering, it's healing, and it's gratifying, and it's joyous, and it's happy. Everyone, I want you to know and desire you to know they would appreciate you joining us, and looking forward to telling everyone to be there. And that information is the same as the Tuesday evenings Soul Awakening. Would you give that number one more time?
Absolutely. 202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
125-446-pound. One more, and that is that on the Tuesday evenings, as I said, we have Soul Awakening, and then there's a 10-minute message. What I've done is record all these in 10-minute messages, and there are approximately 353, 354. I'd like to share that with you because there are two ways you can access it. The first way is to dial in on freeconferencecall.com, and it'll ask you what number you want to play. So it's between 3 and 354, 353. And on the phone, you punch in the number. So let's say you punch in 187. Well, I don't know what this is. By mistake, and there are no mistakes, as they say, I forgot to label all of those wonderful messages. Well, as I said, you want to read through 350 labels? I don't. So let your soul decide. So you want to listen to 187, 188. Then I get a note or call. Hey, Michael, I listened to just what I needed to hear. Thank you. Let your soul desire you to help you choose what you need to learn and grow from. Stuck in traffic, you're angry, you're depressed, you're down, play them. To access that information, would you give them that telephone number?
Absolutely. It's 434-300-4170. And the code, Michael?
Same as before, 125-446-pound. One more time, please.
434-300-4170. And the code, Michael?
125-446-pound. So please, everyone, join us, refer these numbers, and you'll enjoy it. One other item, and that is that replays of the messages that you have done over the years, and you can access by going to YouTube, Dr. Michael B. Gross. You can also see some of the motivational messages in audio, and an award-winning photographer by the name of someone, I think her name is T.U. Knapp. There's one of the quotes from the true source. So not only will you get to see a beautiful picture, you'll get a message and you'll see something or hear something that's very empowering for you. So you can go to YouTube. Not all 354 are on there, but we're getting there. I encourage all of you to go to YouTube and watch our podcast and the messages. One more, Michael. Aren't we done yet? No. True Source said for me to open up a nonprofit. It's called TISE. Well, the International Institute of Self-Empowerment, TIISE. We call it TISE. What's so important is it's a 501c3 nonprofit. You can make donations. Yep. And I want all of you to know that Tia and I have not drawn a penny from it. We work really, really hard to make this work, and we'll have more exciting information about helping women and men and children, even children, become self-sufficient and entrepreneurs. We have a whole program. And Tia learned how to be a web designer, and she's working on the website for TISE, the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. So if you have an opportunity, please see my website, drmichaelgross.com. And it's a new and improved version, new revised version. And of course, the web designer was Tia Knapp. So I encourage you all to do that. You'll learn a lot more about me and what I do and the beautiful artwork and what Tia has been so kind and thoughtful to create. So I really enjoy that. One more item, and that is when TISE opened up, or we conceived the idea, and it's going to have 12 arms. Well, what was the first arm? Still Tia. Tia is an expert on what she wrote a book, Healing the Holes of Your Soul, Your Freedom. Your journey of freedom begins within. And it's really important. So I asked her to be an expert because she is an expert. She survived it. She was raised herself from being in the gutter, low self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem, and now has this great and wonderful knowledge, like the mythological bird, the phoenix rising from the ashes, how to help other women and children and men find self-worth, self-esteem, and create a life full of joy, happiness, abundance, love, and prosperity. So thank you to you.
Thank
All
you.
right. So now, one more thing.
There's one more thing, Michael.
Yes. I offer a complimentary session. 20 minutes. Thank you for reminding me. 20 minutes to a half an hour. Call me. And then if I can't get back to you, I'll say, I'll call you back. But then text me a message. Do not text. Call first, then text. They called me old school. Yeah, I guess I am old school. Sometimes I don't bother, or I can't look at my text messages till much, much later, because I am a people person. And sometimes I'm very busy. Sometimes I only get 3 to 5 hours a night sleep by my choice because I'm working on things and helping souls. So I'd appreciate if you would remember, if you call and desire to call, and I want you to call, just remember afterwards, leave a text message. It's really, really important. When we talk, I'll try to help you as much as possible. Not going to sell you anything. And listen, you buy this and we're going to give you a free set of Ginzo knives or whatever. No, not going to do that. All I say, if I can be of any help, let me know, and thank you for calling. That's it. I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to do anything like that. If you desire my help, fine. If you find somebody else, is fine. Or who knows, 5 years later, 4 years later, have people call me. Yes to you.
Make sure you put your time zone in there because you don't want him calling you at 3 in the morning.
Right. Thank you. And
Well,
by the way, I've had people call me from East Coast at 5:30 in the morning. And it's like, nope. Maybe 5, actually my time 5:30, it's 8:30 their time. But I will look at the phone, and if I hear it's a crisis, you'll never see a person wake up so fast and be able to help you. That's Rex, my dog. He's concurring. He said, "Yep, listen to Dad." So one more thing, and that is when you go to Dr. Michael Gross YouTube, I'm not the urologist, so I want you to know that.
Dr.
Okay.
Michael B. Gross on YouTube.
Okay. I'm not the.
Hi, Rex.
No, when you go to my website, and go to Dr. Michael Gross, I'm not the urologist. So I just thought I'd let you know. Okay, this is the book written by Tionap, Healing the Souls in Your Whole Soul. It's so powerful. It's about survivalship. It's about creating a new life and being a role model for others. So this is a must read. I would encourage all of you to get her book, and you can get her book by ordering directly from her, or you can get it at Amazon. Please look at this and know it's going to change your life.
But in order to get a signed copy of that book, you need to contact me, and my contact information is also in the comments, okay? But I highly, highly, highly recommend that you start with this one, because if it wasn't for this book, which is actually now the second edition, but for the first edition book and this wonderful gentleman sitting next to me, the book he's holding wouldn't even be in existence. So definitely, he wrote this book for a really good reason, and in my world, it's priceless because it saved my life. He saved my life, and his book saved my life. And in doing that, we just keep sharing love and unconditional love and camaraderie with everyone who takes a moment to listen to us, right, Michael?
Absolutely.
We are truly, truly blessed that we have this wonderful gentleman sharing his time with us. And I highly recommend you get this copy. And that one too, if you like. It's great. Christmas gifts are coming up, right, Michael?
Absolutely.
The holidays are coming soon, and that's the only way to get a signed copy. So
And it's
contact
free.
us.
And it's free shipping and handling. It's not one of those deals. And it's $29.95 and $1,400 to ship it to you. Well, no, it's the price of the book and it includes shipping. So I want all of you to know that. We like to joke around a little. We don't rehearse anything. It's all channeled. We may make grammatical mistakes in our wording, like my dog barks. Listen, we're real. And that's what we are. We're human. We're just like you. So thank you for joining us.
And
I
sometimes we
appreciate
trip
it.
over our words, right?
Yes, we do. So I want to share with all of you that we really appreciate you giving up your time. And we want you to know that you are unlimited. Namaste. Thank you,
Namaste.
everyone. We love you.
Love
Take
you.
care.
Invite your friends.
Thank you.